Hopping into game number 1 in this best of 5 series. In the top left of Ghost River we do have Dark. And in the top right we do have herO. The angry face, yeah? Protoss face. This point of the game, thank you everyone for tuning in and watching, and also everyone watching on YouTube, please do consider hitting the subscribe button or the like button if you like the content. Everyone on Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in, hanging out. Every tiny bit of support is very much appreciated in growing these channels. So, we do have a PVZ in our hands, or a cybernetics core against the lair. Oh, thank you so much, Shield Battery, for your cheer. 300 bits. Thanks so much, mate. You contractually obligated to carry RT on your back, even when he's not casting. No, actually I'm not. But I could, you know, if I wanted to. I did not ask for these powers, but I do have them. A little bit of tasteless sprinkled in there. This game, you were saying? This is from the other night. This game is actually from yesterday's EPT Korea. So these are all fresh games. And we have had some great games so far, I think. There's like so many games out there just waiting to be casted, right? There's so many games being played, so much potential to create content. And I didn't really appreciate this until really recently. And now I'm kind of like addicted, you know? I just want to go out there, cast games. Alright, first adept coming in here. We've got a couple links playing with the probes right now, and we do have an adept cleaning out things. No probes being lost, it seems, and the adept on the other side, well, it just did not commit with a shade, so just a little bit of counting here. Hey, how many probes do you have? Drones do you have? Can I find something? No opening there, indeed, though. And it's just gonna shade back here, it seems. So, let's see. This should be the third Nexus coming up here very soon. Oh, this is a Void Ray. This is different. Okay, I like it. Mix it up. This is not an Oracle. Oracle behind Void Ray, so we're gonna go for some Overlord assassinations first. And this is a little bit difficult to defend your third base with an Void Ray, because it doesn't kill links as fast. 3 adepts before your third Nexus, so he's been delaying his Nexus a little bit. Been like saving up his forces, basically delaying the Nexus a little bit. This is, you know, you're out of position here. If Dark can snatch one of these, would be great. And just barely survived that with 6, but he's going to go for the assassination, even maybe gonna commit to the second one. The Void Ray is not here. What are you doing? Oracle is coming from the bottom up now, so he just lost 2 adepts there. That's not great. And he got some energy off the Oracle. The Void Ray didn't do anything in the time. It did kill 1 Overlord. That's everything. Trying to go and clear some creep, do what he can, but all of the Protoss aggression is already so late. This is such a good opening for Dark already. Killing those 2 adepts, getting energy from the Oracle as well. Now finally the 2 Oracles do join, but they are even just like hanging at this army, right? And this could have been 6 adepts. Like, okay, of course you can have like 8 more links as Dark as well, but you don't care as much if you have like 8 more links at this stage with like 6 adepts and 2 oracles, right? And a void ray on top of that. Pretty insane start here for Dark so far. And herO, yeah, kind of a little bit, I don't know, man. Not really finding the damage he was looking for, not finding the angles, and not finding the defense as well. He was playing safe as well, right? He was delaying this with the 3rd adept before the base and the void ray as well, not the oracle, which is a little bit more of a money investment as well. Now coming in with the oracles though, finding some nice damage. We also do have 1 adept who managed to shade over here, which is kind of funny. He did survive this links around. Need to be careful though, not lose these oracles. Been killing a lot of links as well, which is interesting to see, but at least getting value out of those. But this was good. But it was not enough to actually make up from the deficit. It feels like you had from your early, the early poke there from Dark. Still though managing to find a lot of damage with this. But imagine like if there would have been 2 more adepts, if the oracle would have been a little bit higher on energy, right? And you kind of, maybe it's like 8 or 10 drones, not only 5. Maybe you kill a queen. Let's see though. Gonna get Blink behind this, of course, as we are watching herO here unfold. And a proxy gateway in the middle of the map. I love this. Stats did use those in a PvT. Just in the late game, setting up fast warp in locations all across the map, which is really cool to see. This is a very good trade there for herO, picking in this small place. And we do have a Baneling nest now done here. There should be no Baneling speed. +1 is done though for those Banes and Lings. And those queens are happily healing. Okay, so herO is gonna try to overwhelm with these Stalker forces now. And the big stasis ward on the back here, really keeping him safe from the surround. Is gonna lose the Void Ray though, which is a little bit of a shame, because the Void Ray could have been amazing against those Banelings. Not gonna be. Some Banes just did roll into this 3rd base here. Sorry, did not count that one on camera, but it killed 9 tropes and did indeed create a win condition here for Dark. So if he can just basically kill this army, he can win the game from that, or at least be super ahead. Gonna go and try to kill the static defense, which has been set up here. These shield batteries, they do not have overcharge, remember. They're not close to a nexus, so it's just regular shield batteries, but doesn't even matter. He's just killing off Dark's every unit here. And herO wins the game. GG, well played. From our Protoss players. That was Protoss. That was basically, hey. I did just lose, oh, wait. Wow. You're just cheering with your messages, man. I love it. Thank you so much for the cheer again. Give me a second. I'm just gonna start up this replay. Next map here. I'm gonna have a look at it. We do have game number 2. It's gonna be an Oceanborn. Wish it had some of that TV glam from OSL MSL production. Basecamp. Well, yes, of course. Of course, like production value can always be higher, right? It's tough these days. There's not enough money in StarCraft anymore. Like sponsors, mainly Blizzard. So yeah, top left Dark, bottom right herO. But yeah, mainly it's kind of Blizzard that has pulled out as one of the biggest like money givers to try to enforce the professional esports scene, because Blizzard has been invested into GSL as well. They have been putting in money there as well. While they did, right? And now it's basically all the oil money from South Arabia kind of doing it this year, and then we're gonna see next year what's gonna happen. The Koreans are doing it on their own, basically. They do not have anything to do, I think, with the... I'm not sure, actually. 100% if they get some money there, but I don't think they do. I think this is all just the their own stuff, right? GSL. It's just not GOM TV, it's Africa TV. Yeah, MaxPax could be an AI bot from the future, that's true. But I mean, there were seasons where they did use face cams for the regionals, for example. And MaxPax did indeed play without a face cam because he did request to stay anonymous. And apparently this is a right he has. Of course, I want to see this guy as well. I want to see him like go to a LAN, right? I want to see him maybe like go to Dallas and then go to the World Finals or something. I don't know, man. But you never know. Everybody has their reasons. The dead moss helmet, whatever that might be, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, okay, so he just has to have like a horse head, right? The usual stuff, so he can be anonymous. Actually, he could do that, right? He could just pull that off. An ape mask, a Zorro mask. He's playing Protoss. I think ape would fit. Or maybe a giraffe or something, I don't know. Make it super weird. Let's have a look here real quick. Confirmation on the Stargate indeed. First Adept is gonna poke in, see if he can snipe a creep tumor. No creep being deployed yet though. No opportunities there. Not gonna shade in with this one, I'm pretty sure. Let's see there. Nope. Sometimes herO is a little bit crazy with his first attempt there, but yeah. 4 links in place. The queen is here as well. And he's probably ready to just morph these drones if need be. So second gate is gonna follow here in a second. There we go. Second Adept joining up with the first one. 8 has been sent out though, so needs to wait for the shade to recharge here until he can threaten again the drones. And this also does allow you a little bit of scouting. You see, okay, there's 6 links, you can count the drones. Of course you can use that as a Zerg, you can just like transfer drones from your main if you're really gonna go for speedling all in, for example, but it's not the case here, and Dark not really the player to do that as often. He likes more roaches stuff. Brood War Terran flows thickly through blood. Definitely. In my veins. Right, trying to poke in with the oracles here, but too many queens and a spore as well. So far, rock solid defense here from Dark. It's looking great. 3 queens over here. Already in position, poking away at these oracles. Couple of adepts trying to see what they can find with the shade. And this is just like, hey. So what he's doing here, this does not seem very impactful. And indeed, it is not as much. It's me. Ready, go, 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 go. 3, 2, 1. It was the French caster. There we go. Okay. So what this does actually, of course it gives you some scouting information. You are kind of forcing your opponent to stay active with their units. And you kind of delay the creep. So being outside just of the creep means, of course, if a creep tumor comes there, you can just snipe it, right? So you're delaying your opponent's creep a little bit and limiting the vision of the Zerg player. So it's not a bad move to stay there and play safe, but of course it's not really what you want to do. You want to kill drones with this. Getting it cancelled here is really nice. It's like 2 oracles is a little bit weird to get it cancelled though. But yeah, did happen. Just imagine if Brood War Protoss knew that shield battery is broken. Brood War, like SC2 can instant AoE heal. Wait, what? Instant AoE heal? Are all online tournaments hosted on NA? No. It completely depends on where the players are. So most of of course, the online tournament has like a default server, which is in a rule set. So if you have, for example, an NA versus EU player, he could force to be played on NA, or does force to be played on NA. And if it's gonna be Korea against, what is it? Korea against Europe, it's usually NA, because that's like the in-between server, right? So it just makes sense to play on NA most of the time, but if it's Korea against Korea, they play on the Korean server. This is also very common. Oh, we lose 2 adepts here. This is very common on the NA Cup. We do usually cast on Atos' channel, right? That most of the Koreans against Korean games, they're all on the Korean server, and that's completely fine by the rulebook. If both players agree on a server, the server might change. So both players have to agree though. And yeah, that's why you see a lot of server swapping actually for the Koreans, specifically in the NA Cup. And this is the Korean Cup, so this has been all played on Korea server. Okay, let's. I want to see the shield battery talk, but I need to talk about this first. We have a ton of Banes here engaging, just completely killing off the shield battery. Their overcharge did not do its job. And the Banes, well, they are finding the Stalkers. Oh my god, so many Stalkers do blow up there in the last second. A big clump. Do we have enough reinforcements here for herO to maybe still hold this push? It does seem the way right now. We do have an observer starting up. That's a sign of confidence if I've ever seen one. Yeah, it's only roaches and a handful of links remaining here. The ling reinforcements might not be enough to even save these roaches. Let's see if herO can maybe tag them and just completely clear out this army. Needs to turn around here for a moment, needs to kill these links. The oracles are out of juice here. They don't have enough energy to actually help these stalkers, which is a big deal. So we're actually killing a lot of stalkers here. He might have been a little bit too confident there with that observer starting up. In the end, the +2 is gonna finish and he will fight off this lynx and get the Zerg off his lawn there. Alright, so let me do a check here. So yes, shield batteries are broken and Brute War like C2 can instant AoE heal and extend range. Sorry, what's that bug, man? I don't know about that. Is this a StarCraft2 bug? Sorry. So, requires action though, and energy regeneration is slower in Brute War, I believe. So, is this a Brute War bug? Use battery to target ground while AoE heal all units at once. No charge up. Forced units stop action. That's some big hits. So this is a Brute War bug, right? It's not a bug. Batteries are good in Brute War. It's not a bug. Wait, AoE heal is not a bug? It's designed? I remember that you can heal up several units at the same time. Yeah. That's true. I did not play too much Protoss. And when I did not make too many shield batteries, of course, but yeah. If I remember correctly, you can heal up at least AoE. That's true, yeah, if you say AoE, yeah, you can heal up several units at the same time with one battery. Okay, let's go here. One more swing with the Bane Roach Hammer. Try to overrun our Protoss player, but this time the overcharge is in a good spot. This is a very nice hold there on those Banelings. One Bane makes it into these probes, one more would do the trick, but insane warp in there at the last second. It's gonna get a cancel down on the 4th base. And Dark keeps on growing, so he's not really growing on tech, but he's at least growing on economy. And well, we did lose all of our roaches now, and we did just see there's 2 Colossus out now. And these 80-some links, they will go down in, let's say, I'll give them 10 seconds, and then they're dead. 10 seconds against the 2 Colossi army. So this army is completely outscaled at this point, and you need to do something else, like either move a ton, like make a ton of Banes again, or go into more heavy roach production. But like roaches against the Robotech already online, against AirTech already online, I don't really think that's the path you want to choose here. You're gonna mass up. Another idea of a unit there, like something that could be good would be transition into Hydra Lingbane. That's always a strong composition. Of course, Hydras are not the best against Colossi. They're also weak against Disruptors. Like, really getting some spellcasters would be key, to be honest here for Doug. And so far he has been trying to go in with the hammer, right? It's been basically, this is basically the Ogre Zerg Gamer version of StarCraft 2. It's not, it's also in ZVP of course, but it's not with Mutalisk and Scourge. It is just with a ton of Banes, ton of Roaches, ton of Lings, and now we have a ton of Banes actually connecting with Colossus. I don't know if that's actually the best thing you want to connect on, because all of these Stalkers, they're kind of still staying alive and completely destroying the Zerg army. But this did also indeed reset the Colossi count here. And the Ogre Zerg Gamer, did it fail again? Did it fail again? Can it hold this attack? The army supply is very similar. The economy is super low here for herO, but the army supply is quite high. If you can keep this Colossus alive, some beautiful Warp Prism micro here. Prism is getting low though, and a great stasis on those links, keeping so many of them out of the fight here. Stock's pushing in again here, and this one Colossus, it has 27 kills, man. It's been putting in the work of God there, raining down those lasers from Supreme, but we need some reinforcements. Sentries are not going to do the trick. Finally, those Link do unfreeze and maybe even get a Colossus. Actually, they do here. Beautifully executed by Dark, and now suddenly the Ogre Zerg Gamer might just have the game. Everything did just fall apart here for herO. He never remade those probes. This is half of a base mining. This is not oversaturated at least. This is like half of... He has like 3 half bases mining, and this is also not even a half base. It's less than that. So he's on 4 bases, but he only mines from basically like 2 base income. That's not enough to stand up to 5 bases. Those 2 adepts, yeah, they're gonna do something about those drones, but 71 drones still after killing 3. I think that's the spot where you want to be here. +3 is great, but the Ogre Zerg Gamer, it did the trick. And now we're gonna go into +3 ourselves. Hive is done, Infestation Pit is done. You can always add Vipers now. Oh, as I said that. You're already getting the juice here. Amazing. Bane's trying to go in for some assassination on probes here, keeping the probe count low. Not gonna happen. This also should get just defended in time. 4 Stalkers to one-shot the Bane. I didn't know. Now you know. Or I know. 4 Stalkers do one-shot a lot of things. Think about it. Pretty cool. Oh god, that prism. Oh boy. 2 HP. Oh boy. 2 HP. And Disruptors. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good answer against Disruptors. Lynx, very fast units. Nimble. As you can see, this Nova, it only connected to some corpses. It never found the mark. And now, we do lose the Prism. The second Nova didn't hit anything either. Hey, dear Protoss player, where did your AoE go? Oh, it is here. It just doesn't do anything. And now the Ogre comes in again with the last volley of his big swing. And takes the game. Number 2 here, goes to Dark. Okay, let me quickly read the check here. Hopping into map number 3 here in the top left, we do have Dark, our red Zerg player, taking game number 2 with the Ogre Zerg Gamer there, and in the bottom right we do have herO. Kind of being a little bit out of position with Colossus, a very unfortunate engagement there. One time, and then he basically lost the fight and the game in the end. So, coming back to your question about creep, right? How does creep basically set up a defensive position, or like as a zoning tool, right? To zone out your opponent. So being on creep, it definitely is always, it's a big threat at any time, just because of 2 things. Well, what it does, right? It does give you the vision, so you're always in vision of your opponent. It's basically like you're saying this, like you get map hacks from this point on. And by you going onto that creep is like you giving your opponent this map hack, like you're installing it into your opponent's computer, right? So that's the first thing. And everybody knows, like, if you completely know what's going on, you can perfectly choose your engagement, right? You can set up whatever you want, however you want it, and you know what's going on. And the other one doesn't. So that's like the first danger. That's how big vision is of a tool with creep. It's literally like a map hack. Of course, it's limited in its, you know, in its way, how it operates and stuff. So it's like it's not a perfect map hack, but if you have the completely map covered in creep, you will see everything your opponent is trying to throw at you, so you can basically react however you want. That's where this reactive style really comes from as a Zerg player in StarCraft 2, right? It's not as big of a thing in StarCraft War, I feel. Reactive Zerg player. Like, it's a defensive Zerg player with like these with the hatchery walls and the egg walls and stuff, right? This is like an opportunity you create for yourself, but you don't really have the vision. So it's like a quick response setup you have there, defensive setup as a Brood War Zerg. In StarCraft 2, basically you gain that from just having creep, and then you get the speed boost. That's a second attribute, right? So every engage you have, of course, having a lot of melee units is gonna be way stronger on creep. And sometimes a fight you should not win off creep, you will win on creep. And this is for a lot of cases, specifically in TVZ, for example, with Banelings against Marines. It's a very big thing. For adept timings, for example, adepts against Baneling, it's a big thing. Mostly it's like the melee units, but it can also be very strong for Roach Hydra, for example. Oh, he's actually committing. There we go. Take a look. It's just damaging a drone so far. Maybe you can snipe this one. Oh, Dark, man. Dark the God. Pulling that one back. Eagle Eye. And sniping the adept. So yeah, it can be also insanely good for high DPS units like Hydras and Roach Hydra composition, because you can close in super fast and just snipe something, right? Where if it would be off creep, you probably couldn't do it. And then it also allows you to run away, evacuate better. So it's such a tough situation to be on creep as the non-Zerg player. It's really super. It's probably the best tool the Zergs have in their arsenal, creep itself. You could always creep. In the ZVZ it's like difficult, right? Because it will grant your opponent the speed boost as well. So you will create opportunities for your opponent as well. But you will gain the vision on your end. And vision is always, it's one of the biggest things in RTS, right? If you know what's coming, it's a game of limited information. If you know or have most of the information, you can just prepare whatever you want to. Banelings should counter Marines and Adepts though. Makes me sadly when they can't do it off creep. That's true, they are a counter unit, but it should come down to engagements, right? So if you fight off creep and you, for example, can set up a good surround or come in with a nice flank, for example, you completely wreck any bioforce, right? But if the bio is set up properly and has a lot of retreat room, then you should lose the fight, in my opinion, even though it is the counter unit. It's not like the bio can just stand there and fight it off. You need like a huge spread for that, a big preparation. And that's like, then we are kind of approaching like mid-tier or maxed armies, right? When we go to that point. It's not like the counter unit always kills the unit, right? It always comes down to the execution. And I think that's a great thing about StarCraft 2. If it wouldn't be a good game. It's like what you saw with the Banelings crashing into this Colossi in the last game. It's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to lose Colossi to Lings and Banelings, because those are supposed to be the counter units. Those are supposed to be the AoE units against those small, tiny, framed melee units there. But they just all completely got wiped because they were out of position. Positional thing as well there. Shouldn't Bane speed counter stim, not off creep? Well, was that fast? Would be pretty unstoppable, yeah. I mean, that's the idea though with creep, right? So, if you would make banelings as fast as stimp marines, then I think they are as fast, right? They're not faster. They're not faster. But I think they are maybe a little bit... They're roughly about the same speed. So they're not gonna catch up, right? Against stimp bio. But they're not gonna like really fall behind. If you just run. So the thing is, like, if you would make banelings that strong off creep, you couldn't make creep. You would have to basically throw creep out of the game, or like completely remove the speed bonus on creep, because then it would absurdly be overpowered, because you wouldn't need creep in the first place. It would only grant you vision, right? Like vision and speed control, and even if you go off, you still can't really do anything about it. Would be a really tough thing to handle. I think right now how it is designed, it's a pretty decent thing for how the engagement works. I still feel like creep is a little bit powerful. Yes, it's a very interesting concept to RTS and general game design here. Creep is probably the biggest gamble they took here in StarCraft2. Creep mechanic. It's definitely not a flawless design with how creep operates and what it forces on the balance for other units, right? But it's a different concept. I mean, when this game was introduced, right, something like this did not exist. So it was a very cool, fresh idea, and I don't hate it. Not enough to completely remove it, right? It's also kind of a cool fantasy thing, right? It kind of works with the lore and all shit, so I know not too many people are into this, but I don't hate it, you know? It's like creeping all across the map, like a Zerg, you're consuming kind of the map, right? It's kind of a cool thing. Oh, now we've got some storms here going into those Banes. Oh, that was a beautiful storm there on the tail end of those Banelings. Do we have enough, though, to wipe out this force here from Dark? There's still a lot of Blink Stalkers, but we are kind of back in the corner here. Stasis Trap only gets a couple links, and reinforcements are there for Dark to completely push away the Stalker force. No Archons, no High Templars to survive, unfortunately, here. So everything kind of gets reset. We don't have anything remade at home. No High Templars. Just did look through all those bases. Some Zealots come in. There we go. 3 High Templars. Let's get energy. Creep was an interesting concept, but they need some numbers to balance. Maybe they do, yeah. The thing is, if you change creep now, I mean, it's tough, right? There's no one working on StarCraft2 anymore, so you're not gonna see too many balance changes. I think 2 big ones against creep, against such a fundamental system in the game at this point. Oh, those Banes connecting to those High Templars. Not gonna finish them off, though. Very fortunate here for herO, though. That one cannon shot connecting with the one Baneling to save this last High Templar here. And I wonder what you guys are gonna do here. And this might be for a run by, or this is gonna be another base set up here in a little bit for herO. You're gonna see, but we need something new. We need something more here from herO. He can't really stick on this composition too long anymore, because we do have lurkers. Yeah, we need some robos, and those are late. Oh boy, those are very late. We need some immortals. We need them yesterday. Seems like herO does not have the tools he needs to stop this push. We're gonna see though if he can maybe find some amazing storms, find some good trades here. So far so good. Storms are looking pretty good. Now coming in with the Stalkers, killing off a lot of lurkers. Is it enough though? Stalkers are gonna flank here, and now if they try to blink in, they're completely gonna get evaporated. Did reduce the lurker counter too, so amazing engagement here from herO with a good flank and super well placed storms there. Dark being very clumped, not taking the correct engage for the units he had there, cancelling these lurkers even. So good timing here on herO, trying to get a little bit greedy from Dark, moving or morphing here on the front line basically. And the good timing there from herO. This is a nice stasis trap. I love this. Cannon, it's like literally already pointing at this Baneling. By the way, these get killed here. Yeah, as you can see. They want to so hard die in that cannon. And the cannon wants so hard to shoot at these links, but it's not allowed to. There we go. And it was even slow to turn. Couple links make it in, only 3 probes go down. Increase of Oracle is very interesting, considering they made improvements to observers and production. Yeah, it's true. The observer speed, or like production speed, is very fast now. I think that's one of the biggest changes to it, which is very cool. It doesn't really take up that much of time now to produce those. So you can really, it's a very low committal to get extra observers. And they are very good, right? They can just sit around the corner and give you some map vision. Yeah, but Oracles is basically why we do see those so much. They give you so much potential in the early game to get some harassment damage done, and they also keep you safe from any Ling or lanes, which do Immortals not do, and Observers of course don't do. So you just get those Oracles and you keep them alive. Those are still from the early game. Those are the Oracles that did go in at minute 5 and try to get, got 5 probes there, or drones. Those are the same Oracles. And if you keep them alive, you can just constantly tag. So it delays your Observers, basically. Observers are very good right now, but you still don't really need them as much as you do in other matchups, for example. That's a good engage here for herO. Throwing down a ton of good storms there, killing so many banelings. And now we do have the Immortals that did rally out of that double robo, just picking away at this base, and we're gonna poke out one here. Brutal attack there from herO. He has so many storms, oh my god. What, 6 High Templars? Almost all of them. 1 is out of energy, 3 are out of energy, 3 do have storm. So many charging up here. Extra juice. Expanding again behind this. Going up to 5 bases, throwing down a ton of storms again onto those lurkers. Not really hitting the mark as much. A couple of transfuses are gonna heal them back up to full. Very well done by Dark. And those links are amazing. They're completely focusing. These Immortals are retargeting on those links, not hitting the lurkers, which are they supposed to do. But these 3 observers, man, you wanted them, you see them, you get them. In combination with the Immortals and those Archons are just gonna completely wipe the floor. And herO, man, that was a clutch transition if I've ever seen one. Those double robo, those were key. GG, well played. Energy is good to have. What is this card from? What tournament? herO. So this is these are replays from the Korea EPT Cup, which took place yesterday on Monday in Korea. Or it's like 2 days ago now or something. Like 1.5 or something. I don't know. However you want to count it. So it's pretty fresh games. And yeah, those are like most of those are not casted in English. A little bit of a shame. Not a lot of people covering those. It's terrible times for NA and EU to watch those, to be honest. Like live. Okay, let's go into the next map. We have what herO is up to 1, right? Against Dark. In a great game. Great ex. Yes, this was the finals, of course, and this is the best of 5. Are indeed correct there. Into the game number 4. Top right, we do have Dark, and in the bottom left it is herO. Oh, get back to the chat here a little bit. Ja, ich komme aus Deutschland. Spricht auch ein bisschen Deutsch. Schön zu hören. Welcome, welcome. I'm from Germany. Yes, you're indeed correct there. herO is up to 1 indeed. Thank you so much. We're just gonna kill the team here on Talon Dark. Not on Easy Crew anymore, I think. The OG Brood War map pack unit, the Observer, yeah. It's a great unit in Brood War as well, but it's so much better in StarCraft2, right? Observer, because it's so much more nimble. It has like the deploy mode, Or whatever, that is good. Fantastic casting too, not just observing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shield Battery, for your kind words and all these bits today. Okay, so try to scroll a little bit up in the chat here to get reactors for some units. Relying solely on Chrono Boost would also be too difficult. Well, it's interesting case. You can use units away from the... You could just build more gateways to keep lava count and increase of oracle. Interesting. Okay, so we did already talk about the oracles. Let's talk a little bit about high gateway counts. And that's also something that's been coming up very recently a lot, because a lot of protos have been playing very gateway-centric, gateway-focused compositions with a lot of charge slots and stalkers. Specifically in PvT, that's like a mainstay. And PvZ early game is also a big thing. And like mid game as well, right? You usually get into Robo and Storm behind this, and then maybe even into Stargates in a PvZ, but you can also play a very gateway heavy style. And gateway man definitely is a thing that can occur and has been in StarCraft2 recently, a lot more than actually way back. So what you do is like you basically whenever you go up to above 4 bases and go into 5 bases, you just scatter gateways across the map. That's like the optimal way to do it, which Zest showed today in a different game against Ryang. And you kind of roam the map with your army, and you get most of your gates, like 12 at home, and then you scatter some across the map, like choose your poison. You pick like 3, 4, 5 positions where you set up a pylon and a gate, which are a little bit apart from each other, but they will grant you those fast warp-ins. And you will be able to warp in like suddenly 17 or 20 more units, right? So whenever you start up building a bank, that's what you want to do as a Protoss player. If you want to keep on fighting, if you want to just stick on a composition that needs to trade. That's like the thing that you limit yourself to, though, if you play that style. But in a super late game, like if you're just building a banks, which this could be, for example, this is a good map for this, RK1. It's an easy map to split. It's easy to go up to 3 and 5 bases from there even. It's super good for defensive play. That's a good adept. I thought this would be out of position. Oh, we're gonna kill a couple drones here on the other side. This is actually very impactful. Going in here, getting 6 drones. That's so many drones. Oh my god. But yeah, this is, for example, a very good map to split. 7 even. Wow. Sorry, good map to split. So a very late game. You always want to throw down extra gateways. And what I love to do or love to see in PvZs is just make them as walls. Just like put up more and more walls on your fringe bases, right? You don't need to keep those gateways necessarily alive, but just to have them sometimes is better than just like randomly plastering down static D. Like tons of it, right? Sometimes you want to... Like, would you rather have 7 cannons and 5 shield batteries, or is like 5 cannons, 5 shield batteries and 2 gates maybe better, you know? Get the extra production, get the potential to remax faster, or get like a big swing of reinforcements immediately, right? So that's a really cool thing as well that doesn't exist, and it's kind of in the meta right now. It's in the meta super hard in PvT, where a lot of people do actually do those extra gates and really go like... I saw stats earlier was today on 19 gates. That's a lot, right? 19 gates. I mean, you need to do the math, right? You need to... If you go zealots, that's what, 1900 minerals at once. You're just spending. That's like almost 2k minerals. You need to mine those first, right? You need to actually have the money to utilize those. So it's a super late game thing, but it's really cool. But because it allows you to just instantly reinforce whatever you want to if you have the bank, and then completely go in and wreck your opponent. Man, hero's doing so much damage. 10 drones? Oh my god. We've killed 23 drones in this game and only lost 5 adepts and 1 oracle. Oh god. If he doesn't close out this game, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, let's see what Dark's response is. So far, double expand. That's a cool trick. Try to get ahead in the economic game again. But there's no tech. There's nothing. Finally, we're going into extra gases. We're probably gonna start the lair with our next 100 gas here as Dark. But this is so awfully late. There's already Blinkstalkers across the map. There's no lair done, right? There's nothing in range. Evolution chamber before. Okay, so it's playing is a little bit different. Double evolution chamber. Okay, so different approach here. Not gonna use the gas to go into the lair actually. Rather, let's see. There we go. Gonna go for upgrades first. So he pulled the gas until he has like about 300. Then went into a lair. Now he can start his melee and carapace at the same time. And go into those, yeah. It's probably gonna be like an adrenaline style. So he's most likely gonna go very fast into a hive behind this. And go into adrenal and 2-2. That's something he really likes to do. It's a very Dark-esque style. But he usually doesn't do this after he loses 23 drones. So let's see if the timing works out or if herO can just find an opening to kill him first. But what this allows you is like you go into a very heavy melee composition with this, and then you can always go into Hydra Lurker after this, like with your melee. Sorry, excuse me, with your Baneling link composition, of course. And you also can go into Ultralisks if your opponent does not transition into robo units first. Thank you, Sandwich, for the 100 bits as well. Oh, 300 bits, sorry. Completely misreading the situation there. Thank you so much, guys. Very much appreciated. Oh, that drone. Perfect spawn there. Let's morph into a spore. I mean, you can see now, hey, workers are even, right? But if we take a close look again, we just have this one finished. We have the infestation pit about to get done. And next step should be the hive. There we go, as was foretold. And then we're going to go into our super strong Zerglings, basically. The cheapest unit in the game. And try to get it as powerful as it can be. And that's the idea here for Dark. So he's going to trade inefficiently, but he has the potential to basically gain insane counter damage. And Lings are good against Stalkers, to be honest. They're very good against Stalkers. They're not perfect. They're not really the counter unit. But they're one of the units in bigger armies that will indeed kill off a Stalker army if the upgrades are there for the Lings. There we go. That might be an insane stasis what actually is gonna get cancelled here. The second one is gonna be good though. One Stalker sacrifices himself for the greater good, tries to get some Banelings connect on him. Does not actually do the work here on the second Stalker. Let's see if Dark can kind of make a defense happen or if this +2 attack. This is actually also +1 armor on these Protoss units. I didn't even notice this. Pretty good attack here from herO, and it doesn't really seem that Dark's defenses are enough to actually force this one back, right? Oh, that's some nice dancing there. There we go. Zealots are a little bit stuck behind the Stalkers. Finally, with a blink, they come into the Banes. But we're out of Banes. We only have Queen Ling. Only Queen Ling. And I don't think you can hold this one upgrade up Stalker Ball here with herO's micro as well, right? He's been executing this perfectly so far. Not losing too many of his Stalkers, have been placing amazing stasis traps, and he's just gonna go back. He's been trading very good. Let's take a look at the trades. It's been 7,000 to 3,000 here. 7.7 against 3.6. It's an amazing trade here so far for herO. Has been mostly keeping his Stalkers alive here. And been trading so well. Dark has been just losing units. His adrenal, it's not done. It's not done. His composition, it's not working yet. How it should be working. It's 2-2. It's not done. There we go. It's almost done, but it's not here. And the fight is almost over. And that's the issue. If you lose 23 drones while you are only on 40. GG. Very well done by herO. Amazing damage there from the early game and completely exploiting this in a timing afterwards. All the things that Dark tried to move into position, all those pieces on the chessboard he was trying to move there, did indeed not go there fast enough. So unfortunate timings there for Dark, and well played by herO, well executed, completely finishing out the game. If he gives Dark like 2 more minutes, the game looks totally different. It's 2-2 against maybe 3-1 or 2-1, and we do have adrenaline, right? The trades look so different then.